Hey everybody, welcome to a new episode of the Civil Canadians. I'm Scotty V and I'm with good old King Kansas. How you doing?
Fantastic, Scotty. It is Friday.
The
end of the work week for some people. Some people have to work on Saturday, sometimes even a Sunday, like the King, Sunday nights. But
I had to work weekends for 2 years straight.
So you know what? You got to put in your dues to get a good time off. But you know what? When you need money, you got to work.
Indeed.
Right?
All right, Mr. King Kansas, what are we going to be talking about?
Okay, so Scotty, on this lovely episode of the Civil Canadians, episode 89, if you guys are keeping track with the rest of us, last week's episode, we greatly appreciate you guys watching, and the one previous to that, we hit 1,800 views, which is a first. Thank you to all who have watched us. We appreciate that. We need more love. We are Canadian.
Because those views just came out of nowhere.
We appreciate it, guys, and we love it. Hopefully we'll come up with some cool stuff so we can talk about that. You guys will follow us more, and don't forget, there's a whole bunch of stuff coming up later this month. But anyways, enough of that, Scotty. This episode, we're going to be talking about something that you're very familiar with, and I think all the fans on YouTube land here and of ours, we're going to be talking about the greatest, you're listening now, greatest, Scotty.
The greatest?
Villains or Spider-Man villains of all time. Like some of our favorites, who do we think is the best out there across the land? So I'm going to let you start off because you are the Spidey God, King, whatever you want to call it. I relinquish my crown. I can't even speak. My crown to you. So yes. Who do you think are some of the greatest Spider-Man villains of all time, Scotty?
Crap, okay. I'm going to do 5.
Okay, let's hear it.
So, Dr. Octopus.
Okay.
Green Goblin. Venom.
Okay.
Carnage, and I would say the last one. I would say I really like Scorpion.
Scorpion too.
I would say those are my top
that's
5.
Not your particular any order. That's just your 5. If you had to pick your top 2 from what you listed, what would they be?
My top 2 would be Venom and Carnage.
You love those two. You like the symbiote.
Yeah.
Me, Scotty, if I had to pick, Venom is definitely up there because when Venom came along and McFarlane was behind that and the black suit and all, that was like the craziest stuff on the face of the earth. Mm-hmm. Lizard was kind of unique for me, Scotty, because the whole, mix your blood with the DNA of a lizard and you can grow your arm back and then you kind of turn into that little creep and whatever. Doc Ock was phenomenal. Like, come on, a guy with tentacles on his back. Holy... We're gonna
holy macaroni and
Let's
cheese.
See that. Yeah, you keep it clean. I can't keep it clean.
Yeah.
Carnage was cool, but to me it was kind of like a knockoff. But he was like serial killer, right? So I kind of like serious stuff, but we'll keep him where he's supposed to. Another guy I kind of liked was the Rhino. Rhino was one of my favorites. I find it fascinating. The guy with the Rhino suit, just because he's wearing the suit, he can flip cars tomorrow.
What did you think of the Rhino in the Amazing Spider-Man?
That was crap. When I seen that, I was like, what the hell? I understand they're trying to update it to the modern times, but they could have still had him wear a suit and flip whatever.
They could have did cross species.
Exactly. DNA and make him a mutant. I don't care. Mutate the damn guy.
Like how they did with Lizard.
Exactly.
The Doctor turned into a lizard. Have him turn into a rhino.
I think it looks so cool to see something like that on the screen and like just the right actor. I didn't mind Giamatti, whatever the hell his name is, as
Paul
the Rhino.
Giamatti.
Yeah. But come on, in a robot suit, you could have just put some little kid in there and did the same thing. But you know what? But my all-time, I think, favorite, Scotty, is the Green Goblin.
Is the Green Goblin?
Green Goblin, oh my God, just because it has so much relevance in what happened in Spidey's life, from the death of Gwen Stacy being responsible, and then him dying, and then Harry Osborn taking up the mantle. That was his best friend. He got into trouble. Then he ends up dying. So I think that's the one villain that had most impact to me. And then, of course, it's a close second is Venom. Because Venom, first time ever, I had never seen a superhero scared out of his mind as much as Spidey was, because he couldn't tell when Venom was around. And he was that dangerous because he knew all of his secrets, So I don't know, maybe that's why you like Venom a little bit more?
That's why I like Venom, because Venom came from Spider-Man, and Venom knows all his secrets and all his love, and Venom
inside out, his personal life and everything.
Venom knows everything, and that's why his spider sense can't detect when Venom's around.
Exactly.
Because the symbiote found a way to cover the...
Exact, block.
The block, that's the word, block the Spidey sense, and that's what made it Venom cool for me.
And he learned and adapted spider webs shooting out of his
wrist. Or his top of his
Yeah,
list.
yeah.
The Spider-Man animated show in the 90s, that's what got me hooked onto Venom.
Really, eh? You
'Cause
really like that?
The Venom, oh my God.
For me, it was the comic books because I picked up every single. We used to go nuts, Scotty, run to the comic book store to try and get your hands on, especially the first thing with the different covers.
And especially when they introduced Carnage too. Oh my God.
Scotty, I had the number one, 361. I think that's what it was. Amazing Spider-Man. When he was in
Yeah.
it, I was like,
The
they're
only
really
thing-
gonna do this?
I understand in the comic books that Venom and Spider-Man had to team up to take the Carnage.
Yeah.
But I didn't like that too much in the cartoon because I guess they kind of copped out on that.
Yeah, because then it kind of took away that dynamic of them, like your arch enemy is Venom, and like now you're kind of like buddies, and then Venom to do his own little whatever, and I think that's what we're gonna probably get with this whole movie business with whatever, which
That's
kind of
right.
thing. So that's why you have strong feelings about that, eh?
Yeah, Venom. I used to collect all the Venom toys. I would play when I was a kid, Spider-Man versus
It was cool.
Venom.
It was cool.
I loved it. So Venom is like my all-time favorite. For you, it's the Green Goblin. Right?
Yeah.
To me personally, I think the Green Goblin is a little cheap.
I don't know. For me,
I like. Hold on, sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Before I cut you, I keep cutting you off. I understand he had a big impact in Spider-Man's life, killing Gwen Stacy and then dying.
more personal.
Yeah, more personal in that sense. But I think Venom is more attached to Spider-Man than anything else.
See, for me, Scotty, Venom, yes, I agree with you, is more dangerous because he didn't have that connection besides the suit being on Spidey first and all that. But the only really other thing is like that vengeance or revenge that what Eddie Brock lost his job because of Spider-Man exposing him and whatever,
Yeah.
depending on what storyline you follow, and the hatred. I love that dynamic because you had Spider-Man who was still a young boy, and Venom was kind of like a guy like how old I am now, like in his mid-30s, kind of not over the edge or life point of his life or whatever the hell. He's older, but disgruntled, and I love that because it was like a boy versus a man, and how Spidey kept up with him, and how he would have to outthink Venom was neat. You know, for me, like I said, it lost more of that appeal, like you said, when they kind of become a little bit buds. Okay, we're cool, and I disappeared. If they left Venom just being that dangerous threat, I think he would be my number one. Green Goblin always had that, you know what, I'm your buddy, but you know I'm going to stab you in the back kind of thing to kind of progress his schemes or whatever.
Yeah.
And just that connection, like I said, because Harry being that and him having it out, and he wants it's kind of like Batman and the Joker. That's the only way, that relationship, that love-hate relationship, one cannot survive with the other. And when the Green Goblin died in the comic books and he was gone for like, I don't know, 15 years until he reappeared, that's when you got excited, and you got the pumpkin bombs and a guy flying on a glider and all that crap, you know? Even with the way he was portrayed in the first Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire was okay, even though I didn't like that jetpack suit, but it made sense, right?
William Dafoe was an excellent
Oh,
Norman
he was
Osborn.
creepy, and that's what I guess they needed him to be, you know, Scotty?
Yeah, and Alfred Molina's Doc Ock.
Perfect casting.
Perfection. That's the reason why I started liking Doc Ock.
See, Scott, that's what I'm saying. For me, I'm like Doc Ock because he was kind of cheesy in the comic books, a guy with tentacles, and you think a guy who'd be smart would outsmart Spider-Man, and he would always fail somehow. Like, he wasn't not believable. That he was almost like the Scorpion was, all action and strike, but then you can kind of outsmart him and outplay him and kind of get rid of him, kind of, Scotty. But no, Alfred Molina's portrayal of Doc Ock, phenomenal.
Doc Ock
Believable, and you liked him too.
Yeah.
You liked him in the thing. You felt sorry for him.
And Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2 outsmarted Spider-Man at one point at the battle, the train scene, right?
Exactly, man. I'm telling you, like, that was cool, and him dating Aunt May later in the comic books. That was unreal. You know?
And Doc Ock in the recent comics, he went to Spider-Man's body.
Yeah, because he switched bodies or some whatever, and Superior Spider-Man or whatever the hell that was. I never, like I said, I got out of comic books like 7 years now, guys. It was starting to get back, but
yeah.
A lot of crazy. I think I got out, Scotty, just a little bit after when Spider-Man's clone came back and the whole Scarlet Spider and Ben Reilly fiasco, and pissed off a lot of, because trust me, Maximum Carnage and all that, like I was around for that Spider Carnage a little bit, and then I kind of got away from it, and then when he got his black suit back in black storyline, and that was it for the King, because other people came in his life and distracted him, but getting back into it, the new queen is allowing me to find my roots again, Scotty,
Yeah.
she's the greatest. That's all I'm going to say about her. But anyways, yeah, man, no, I'm happy about that. And so we got a Spider-Man, another new movie coming out. So what from all the villains that we kind of quickly mentioned, like Mysterio and all that, because Mysterio's a cool guy too. I would love to see him, but who would you like to see in the next? We know we're going to get the Scorpion in the next Spider-Man thing. So what next two villains, or where do you see Marvel going with their villains?
Not including Scorpion?
Yep.
They're going to do villains they've never done.
Okay.
So I would think they would do maybe... That's tough to... Maybe they will do Kraven.
Kraven the Hunter?
Kraven.
I think, Scotty, they might do that maybe possibly near the end, because if they're going to, supposedly Spider-Man's going to die, maybe he'll come back with the black suit, and that's how they're going to maybe introduce it that angle. I don't know.
They can do...
Kraven's wicked. That'll be a wicked, scary storyline.
They can do Kraven. They can do Morbius.
Yes, that's another angle there. Then you can get Blade in the mix somehow. That'll be a good angle.
Introduce Morbius as the main villain and then bring Blade on to take him down. That'd be pretty cool.
We need Wesley Snipes.
I don't know who else.
I would like to see Mysterio. I want to see with the special effects and whatever. Like, we're not talking about the main villain, Scotty. Maybe a little bit, kind of like how they would use Sandman, like how they used him just for a little bit and then next villain kind of thing until the real villain shows up kind of thing. Rhino, I want to see the Rhino, Scotty, done right. That's what I want to see. Scorpion, I'm dying to see too. Don't get me wrong. I want to see what he looks like.
The problem is the MCU, they're not going to recycle villains.
See, that's the thing. And are they going to do a Hobgoblin before they do a Green Goblin again? Like, I don't want them to throw it out of kilter. Like, keep your order. Vulture was excellent with Michael Keaton. I love that. So
I didn't expect to like the Vulture, but he was pretty good.
No, that's what I'm saying. He freaked out, and I think it's because of Michael Keaton's performance why he turned out so well. Because you're like, Vulture's going to be the villain of the Spider-Man Homecoming? Are you kidding me?
One of my favorite scenes is when Vulture was helping the guys selling the weapons or getting him back. And he's like, what are you guys calling yourself, the Shocker? What is this, pro wrestling? Oh, that was the best. I was like, oh, this guy's savage.
See, and they use Shocker in there just briefly because he's not a major villain that you say, you know what, yeah, he's the big baddie. They use him for what they needed, and that's it. Maybe they're going to be doing a lot with a little subplot or sub-minor villain, Scotty. But no, man, I think that'll be cool. Carnage is going to be sick if he's in the Venom movie, so that's separate. I want to see Black Cat, even though she's not a villain or she started off as it. That's going to be the love triangle, who knows what the hell.
Yeah.
What else, Scotty? Who else would you want to see besides the main ones? Is there, like, the Chameleon? Would you think the Chameleon will work at all?
No.
No? Mm-hmm. I just don't want no spider slayers, like robotic spiders going after him. No, I don't want that. Kraven the Hunter will be a sick storyline. That'll be like a more serious tone, like a darker tone. Maybe for like the third or fourth film, if they make it that long, because it seems that trilogy is the highest that we do in these universes and all that. Punisher will be cool if you can actually see the Punisher show up. But again, what are you going to use them as a team up?
Yeah, no, the thing is the Punisher and Daredevil and all of them are...
No, they're trying to keep that separate, right, Scotty? I think that's where they're going to keep it that way, I think, too. Could you see them bring the Kingpin, though, Scotty? Because the Kingpin does have a big part of New York City and, with Scorpion connection, the Rhino connection. You don't think they'll have or hint at him at least?
They could, but I don't know if they would.
Because I know who the cast is. What's his name? On the thing, would be a sick... Even if you put him in the regular, I think he'll fit in perfectly, man. D'Onofrio, that's his name. He really impressed me. And I'm thinking, the Kingpin, big guy, whatever. Mm-hmm. Electro. You think they'll ever do Electro again?
After that whole mess with Jamie Foxx?
Why did you do that?
No.
Why did you make him... that bluish, whatever the crap that it was just.
In the Ultimate Comics, he's blue.
He's blue, but you know what? Keep it true. I know they're trying to modernize everything and give a proper explanation of how these guys are come to be. Now, man, don't. I want my supervillains. Leave them how they are. Tweak their origins a little bit, but not to the point that you start laughing at them. Like the Lizard. The Lizard would have been a wicked villain, Scotty. Perfect setup for the original Tobey Maguire's movies, and then it would have been cool to see him in the third one. That he got the symbiote in the experiment, and that's what happened.
Mysterio was supposed to be a villain in Spider-Man 4.
Yeah, he was supposed to be that guy who was he was the ring announcer in the first one, and that Major D, whatever the guy at that play that Mary Jane was performing at, right?
The usher.
Yeah, that would have been a perfect lead-in, right? That was for the fourth script you were talking about, right?
He was Mysterio.
But, yeah, man, I don't mind the new villains, but make sure that it's proper, man. Like the Vulture was sick. If they're gonna do what they did with the Vulture with these other not known characters, I'm happy. We even talked about the Tarantula. There's a Spider-Man villain, the Tarantula, that you're saying has similar powers, but he's kind of like an assassin kind of thing.
Yeah.
That would be cool to see. But no, man, guys, let us know here on the Civil Canadians who are your, I guess, favorite Spider-Man or greatest Spider-Man villains of all times. We listed a few of ours. I think the majority or part, Scotty's going with Venom as his number one. I'm going with the Green Goblin, both with good reasons. I don't know. You tell us. Who would you pick, Venom or Green Goblin? Who do you think is more of the greatest of all time?
Yes.
He's leaning towards Venom, and you know me, Green Goblin.
Green Goblin.
Okay, Scotty, I think that's it for this episode. I hope you guys like what the hell we talked about, because the king is starting to ramble, and
Just
I don't
a
want to
little
ramble
bit.
anymore.
And I'm getting sleepy
He's falling asleep on me, which
because
is rare.
we have real jobs.
Yes, we do, Scotty, and yeah, I got one more night, and I can't wait. I'm done, and then I'll be sleeping like a baby, my friend.
All right, guys. See you soon. Be good. Take care.
Take it easy.
And do what Johnny says. Take care. Brush your hair.
That's right.